Hey everyone, today I was inspired to talk about something that is a part of everyone's journey and I think is not talked about enough, and that is rejection. Rejection and failure, something that I have experienced a lot in all aspects of my life. And I think on social media, or if you don't know me really well, it looks like everything is great. And that's not the reality. So today I want to share my story on rejection and failures in hopes that it will give you some positive inspiration to keep going. Because the only real failure is giving up. As long as you don't give up and you push and you try your best and you learn, that's all part of life and that's all part of the journey. And you'll thank yourself for it. I am so grateful for all the good and bad experiences that I have had. So while I'm talking about my story, I'm also going to open my new Rebel machine. I have been wanting this for a very, very long time, and I've been hesitant because it's very expensive. And I first got exposed to the coffee culture when I lived in Melbourne, Australia, and they just make the best coffees. And so I became really obsessed with coffee, and I really wanted to take coffee classes. And also my brother was a barista. Did I say that right? Barista. I think I said that right. And so I've always loved coffee. Everyone knows I love matcha, but I still love a good, well-made coffee. And so sometimes I need that extra pick-me-up. And finally, actually, I didn't buy this. I got it as a gift. And so thank you so much for the gift. This is very special to me, and I have been waiting to open it, and it's so beautiful. Even the box is beautiful. But okay, as I'm doing that, I will talk about my story and as I'm setting it up. So, as you all know, I decided to leave clinical medicine to go into tech, and it wasn't a smooth journey in any way. But you know, I felt something deep inside of me that told me that I had to do this. And, all right, this is a really big box. And I actually am so lucky, and I will never undermine this, that I have a very supportive family who were willing to help me get on my feet. I had a place to live. I stayed with my parents for a while. I moved back home until I could decide what my next steps were. And I knew that I wanted to start working for a tech company, but I didn't know if I had the right qualifications or if anyone would want to hire me. And I really wanted to leverage my medical experience and knowledge, but I don't know if the tech space accommodated someone like me. But I wanted to make a position for myself. And so I didn't know exactly what I wanted, but I wanted to build products, network with clinicians and hospitals, and figure out ways to make patient care better than what it was. All the problems that I faced when I was working in the system, I wanted to figure out ways to improve on it. So I just put myself out there. I started applying for jobs online, talking to people, going on coffee dates. These are all things I've talked about before. And I have to say, I got called for interviews, multiple interviews, and I went through rounds of interviews. And this is something you don't experience in medicine, going through rounds of interviews, like 5 rounds until you finally get the job or not. And it was so tough. And I went through 5 months of this. 5 months of applying to jobs every day, preparing for interviews, going on interviews, going back and forth, negotiating, and getting rejected from multiple companies, getting rejected from multiple people who didn't have the time to talk to me or didn't want to. So I know what it feels like. There was a point where I broke down and I actually thought, okay, maybe this is a sign that this isn't for me and I need to go back to being a clinical doctor. But I kid you not, there's literally the next day, I got a call back saying they wanted to offer me a position. And so had I had given up before I got to that point, I wouldn't have ever gotten to experience all the amazing things that I have gotten to experience. So the lesson here is to really persist. There's nothing that can beat persistence and purpose. So I really believe that me working hard and not giving up allow me to create the career that I want. And I hope that that can inspire you to not allow rejections or failures to prevent you from doing something that you really want to do, even though people are telling you no. People told me that no one would take me seriously in the tech space because I didn't finish residency, and they told me to go back and finish my residency. But something in me was like, residency, I have clinical experience, and even if I finish residency, I don't think that will change what I can do and what I can contribute to the company. I really wanted to get that business industry experience, and I think that's how I can grow in my career. I really wanted to understand the other side of healthcare. I understand the clinical side, but there's also the business side. And that's why I myself knew inside that I couldn't listen to everyone's opinions. Yes, I respect your opinion, but ultimately, I was going to do what I thought was right. And I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I didn't let that person prevent me from pursuing the job. So another person told me that I just didn't have enough industry experience, and these were doctors who interviewed me who are in the tech space. They said that I didn't have enough industry or commercial experience, and as much as they value what I could bring to the company and to the role, they just didn't have time to train me. And these were some other startups too. They are very limited in their budget, one, and two, capacity to train people if they have a small team. But every interview experience, every person I talked to, I learned something from them. I learned something from them about their roles, about companies, about how I can create a role for myself in the tech space. So I hope that can encourage you to find ways to create that career that you want. And it doesn't have to be in the tech space, but I really encourage people to not feel stuck where they are just because they have invested a lot of time into what they're currently doing, because life is full of unexpected things and life is long. We have this one life, so it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to make changes in your life. Life is not stagnant, so I encourage you to explore as much as you can. Have the most fulfilling life that you can. Okay, I'm talking way too much. I haven't done any work on opening this bubble machine, but it is really heavy and there are a lot of parts to it. So here is a filter basket. All right, I love reading guides, so maybe I'll have to do this another time, not in front of camera. Yes, this makes me feel like a real barista. cleaning kit, and even the opening experience of this box is exciting. Like, it's so beautifully made. Look at this. The art on the cover. I really believe that even just opening the box has to be an experience because it makes people feel like it's a gift. It's like Christmas. So I'm very excited about this. Anyway, yes, so this whole discussion is about rejection and opening up my Breville machine. I'm not sure if anyone's really that interested to hear or watch this, but I think it's important to talk about. You know, I used to be so hard on myself, and actually I can still be really hard on myself when I get rejected or fail, but I give myself time to process those feelings and the hurt, and to make sure that I know that this is not the end for me, because there is always more. There's always something different that you can do, and if you get rejected by one thing, it just means that you were meant for something else, and that's okay. Or keep persisting. I know people who have, you know, wanted to become a doctor and do medicine. Sorry, I was flicking some foam thing. And that's all they wanted. And they tried 6, 7 times. So that's 6, 7 years of their life taking the exam, applying to med schools until they got in. That is real persistence, real grit. Grit is the, what is it, the word that everyone uses now. And I never thought much about it, but I think when you really, really want something, you will naturally just do whatever it takes. I used to look at people and think, oh my God, they're so successful. How did they get to where they are? But if it's something that you love, you will feel it. Like when I really wanted to start working in tech, I had this vision of what it would be like working at a startup in a nice office with dogs everywhere. And I can't believe I actually got to experience that. And I really wanted it. So I figured out ways. Your brain will figure out ways to get you what you want when you know what you want and are willing to work for it. So just the whole message here is to not give up. You can do it. There are so many possibilities, so many opportunities out there in this world. It doesn't have to be in tech. I really believe that if you can find a way to solve a problem for people, that should be your life mission. To find ways to solve problems for people, because that is meaningful. And if you can solve problems for people at scale, you'll never have to worry about money. You'll never have to worry about money. Yes, you need money for your basic necessities, and yes, you can enjoy your life and have more freedom with money, but now I really believe that doing something you find meaningful and having the freedom to do it is above everything else. Yes, you do need to make money. I've gotten a bit of, what is it? People have said, yes, Lee, money might not make you happy, but it makes me happy. And yes, I totally understand that if I didn't have money, I would be having a difficult time. But once you have money, having more and more and more of it might not make you any happier unless you're getting it by doing something that's solving problems for people, that's providing you with some sort of meaning. I'm trying really hard not to break this. Look. So, look at this gorgeous machine. I first fell in love with this machine at an Airbnb. and they had this at the Airbnb, so I got to use it. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. Until I saw the price. It's quite expensive. It is, I think it is $6.99 originally, but it went on sale $100 off. So if you want to get a machine like this, wait until it goes on sale, which it does randomly. You just have to check. I think it's really hard to talk while I set this up, so I will do it later, but I think I'll end it here. I really wanted to just share that rejection and failures are part of life, and it's a good thing if you get rejected. It's a good thing if you fail. And one of my biggest inspirations, Sarah Blakely, look her up. She is the first, I believe she's the first youngest billionaire. Don't quote me on that. But she's so positive and she just has this go-getter attitude. She's completely relatable. She's super sweet. And she had an idea for, what is it? Pantyhose with no feet. And she created Spanx, which is $1 billion company. And I just think her story is truly inspiring for everyone. And she always talks about how her dad asked her each day, what did you fail at today? And she said, oh my God, I was so terrible. I tried out for cheerleading and I completely sucked. And he'd be like, woohoo, high five, great. And they would talk about their failures because he knew that by making her feel like failing is okay, she wouldn't be scared to try. And it's about trying and not giving up that will give you real success and will help you become resilient against anything. Thank you so much for watching today. I think this was a bit of a random video, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway and got some positive inspiration from it, that it's okay to get rejected and it's okay to fail as long as you try. Feel free to reach out to me anytime at Dr. Lee MD on Instagram, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks everyone, take care and bye!